What's up?
Hello?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Alright, let me know if the stream looks terrible.
No, the stream's okay, dude.
Or no, the Discord stream.
Oh, we're doing it on Discord.
Just 'cause like it'll
Now
you'll
Okay,
be
real time, yeah,
yeah, I'll be
ready for
behind, but
battle.
yeah, be behind on the stream. So
Let me just mute the Twitch.
yeah, let's see. All right. Who are you? Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay.
Never
I'm
stop
Anna.
fighting for what you believe in.
All right. So what do you feel like
Oh.
are your like personal issues?
Um, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I get the healing out, but I just feel like I'm always overwhelmed with what to do.
Okay. So the issue is like there's a lot going on. You just not sure how to keep up.
Sometimes, yeah, the Discord's really laggy.
Oh, is it? All right. Never mind. Do you what? Are you okay with watching the stream?
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Okay.
I'll type 1, 2, 3, and then just tell me when it goes through and do this on stream.
Um. Sorry. Can you repeat that? What?
Like I'll type in the street in your stream 1, 2, 3, and then you can like let me know when it comes through, just so I know how far behind I am.
Oh, the stream chat is live. So, or I see, I see. Okay, sorry.
Like
Can you
the
do?
delay should just be a few seconds, right?
Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty much instant. So I'll just watch the stream and then
Okay.
I'll just mute
Yeah.
and I'll listen to you here,
Okay.
so I can hear you in real time.
Yeah.
Coming in 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
Oh, that's an ambitious leap. All
Defend
right.
objective
So,
A.
how much thought do you put into positioning? Or is it just kind of
Um,
like you kind of find general ideas that work and you just kind of run with it?
I usually never die. I'm usually really good at staying alive.
So, how much would you attribute that to, like your positioning versus like your cooldown management versus like your dueling skills?
If I'm in positioning, I always make sure I'm behind, and if they've got flankers, I always try to make sure I'm like basically near the middle.
Okay. So what are some like upsides and downsides to where you're currently standing?
I think right now I'm just trying to wait for nade to purple the team for push. I know they didn't have a widow, so I thought I'd be okay.
Okay.
On this map, I've always found at my rank, my tanks, my team where they are right now, they are going to go left. They always do.
Oh, like around the statue?
Yeah, and then they'll line of sight me, which you'll see, which is about to happen any second, and we're going to lose.
Okay. See it. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I'm just being cocky this time.
Yeah.
I tend to try and play this position where I am now.
I have your back.
I'm usually like the only one that speaks in game too.
Yeah. That's pretty normal though for lower ranks. People don't talk very much. It's not that important to be honest, but
Genji only communicated when he wanted Nano.
yeah. Okay. So you,
That's my Rheingon. He's dead,
yeah. So
and I'm screaming at him, "Stop! Come back!"
yeah. So he's behind the statue, right? Like you talked about, right? So what are some
hmm
areas of the map that you can play that can see this part of the map?
The window maybe behind me.
Not really, right?
The
It's the
the,
same
the
LS as you,
high.
right? Sorry,
Oh
what?
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
the high ground on the left, maybe.
Yeah. So this is called clock. It's really important. And this is a very common spot for Honest to play if you know there's no widow, right? If there's nothing that can kill you up here, you're invincible, right? And this lets you see everything, right? Landing nades is also a lot easier when you're above them, right? So this is a very common Ana spot, right? And then if you need to back up, you can back up this way, right? You can still heal your team. You're safe from almost everything from here. And if you still need to back up, you can back up to the window, right? If you still need to back up, you can go over here, right? And then at this point, if you like for some reason you still need to drop, you can still drop, right?
Yeah.
So this pot, this
I play super safe because I never receive healing from a second support as well.
yeah, I mean that's
That's a big issue I always find. I just never get the support I need. And if
uh
I ask for it, I just get told to shut up. You've got a gold border. You don't know what you're talking about.
I mean sure, but like again, Ana can solve a lot of problems by herself, right? If you're playing here and there's no one who can shoot you, you're invincible, right? If you need to
Yeah,
nade
yeah.
yourself, like no problem, right? If you really need healing and no one can provide it and there's nothing else going on, right? There's still a mega behind you, right? There's a lot of stuff
True.
you can do just by playing a position
Yeah,
like this. Now, don't play it every time because someone can kill you eventually. But like, for example, if you play here, you can heal your Ryan, right? Problem solved, right? And this is
I guess so. Yeah.
like a lot of problems can be solved with like active positioning around what your team's going to do, right? So the thing is, when you're here as well, you can still solve this problem if you played if you were like reading what your teammates were trying to do, right? So if you look in this case, right, your team's looking to get aggressive, right? And like, my immediate reaction is I look at this Ryan, his shield's cracking, so I think he's going to back up, but then he starts walking forward, so I think he's going to go for an aggressive play, and he has to do it soon because the shield's going to run out, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, whoops, that's not you. There you are. So, you're walking forward with your Ryan. This is good, right? Just don't spend too much time in the open because you can just randomly eat a Hanzo shot and die from here. So, like, not really what you want to do, right? But your Ryan's in now, right? So you need to like try and get LOS as fast as you can. So that means like jumping across this gap and trying to like squeeze in a nade like over here, where it'll probably get him, right? See how that works?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of a dumb pin from him, right? But you can still potentially save him, right? I keep doing this. Right, but you just chuck the nade here, hoping that you can get it through your Zarya, and your Zarya just eats the nade from you, right? Just like gobble gobble, and it's gone, right?
Yeah.
But like this is why it's important to like manage your LOS, and also why it's important to like usually just play like a different spot from your team. If you always play behind your team, it's very hard to get active abilities in, right? Because your teammates will like block everything, right? Which is why it's very common for Honest to play on a spot that's like not necessarily like it's still in the back relative to like their team, but it's usually like off to the side. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
Like so if like for example there's a fight happening here and like your Ryan's here or whatever, right? Like just like both teams are like, you know, like looking at each other, right? You don't want to play here as Ana, you want to play over here, right? Because that way you have access to more LOS, right? You can heal your team, you can shoot the enemy team, right? You can decide, right? But if you always sit behind your team, this LOS gets awkward. So instead of trying to force the nade behind them, like you want to move to the side to get LOS. See how that works?
Okay.
Like if you just slide to the left, right now you have LOS. See?
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah, but like, see how you don't even try, right? You just let him die. Like, yeah, he was probably gonna die, especially when your nade's on cooldown, right? But you can still try, right?
Yeah. I mean, I saw the Lucio there. I thought, there's no way I'm getting to him in time.
Yeah, but like again, like you don't have to be with your Rhine. You just need to LOS of your Rhine, right?
Yeah.
So you can solve a lot of problems just by like micro adjusting your positioning based on like what's going on around you, right? So in this case, right, they're pushing. You don't want to be an LOS in the enemy team, right? So you need to be like moving to the right as fast as you can, right? Whoop! I keep pressing the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, but like you see how like you're in the middle of everything, and you're gonna take damage by accident here, right? And if you take damage as Ana, right, healing you as we talked about can kind of suck. Especially since like you don't really want to burn your nade on yourself, right? And your other support is usually less than helpful, right? So if you're gonna do this, right, you need to like by playing these positions, you make yourself like prone to taking damage that's not even intended for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just by accident they will hit you with a fire strike or like some random damage, and that just really sucks because healing yourself sucks. You didn't die there, which is good. Should be getting ready to back up though. Like, see how your Ryan like, I mean, he shouldn't be walking for it anyways, but at a certain point he realized that this is not a winnable fight, and he's already backing up, right? So you want to have distance between you and the Ryan, right? You don't want to be next to him, right? So instead of walking towards him, right, just be backing up already and just play this corner, right, where you're safe.
Yeah. I do back up. I think.
Yeah, but like this is really risky. Like the fact that you even walked forward at all, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah, but I was half expecting this Ryan to charge in.
I mean, if he charges in, there's nothing you can do to save him, right? He's dead. So
Yeah.
at that point, you can maybe try and help him by getting some LOS from range, right? But the most important thing is you cannot die, right? Because first of all, Ryan is faster back from spawn. He just charges out, right? And then second, right? If you want to carry games, you cannot die, right? You need to have impact without dying. That's the most important thing. Metric for like ranking up is just not dying and like having just continuously outputting stuff. Right? But if you get hooked here, this is on you. This is not on your right, right?
Go to sleep.
Right? Like you're getting antsy, like walking forward here. Like just play back, find a safe spot, right, and wait for your team to regroup, right?
You're going to be okay. Get here.
This is actually a reasonable nano. Yeah, okay, nice. I don't know if it was necessary.
I nanoed him so we didn't get long spawn. Because I knew our team was coming.
Yeah. I
But
think
he
you
got
could have.
showered.
Yeah, I think you could have waited on the nano a little bit longer, but like the concept of the nano was okay.
Yeah, and our Genji complained.
Stop the pain.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Just a scratch. You'll
that-
be fine.
Generally speaking, you do want to save Nano for the Genji, right?
Yeah,
But-
I did after this. I gave Genji all my nanos after this.
Yeah, but you try and figure out like a big part of like also climbing is like trying to identify like what people in your game are like in terms of like their relative ability, like how well they work with each other, right? And then, like maybe the Genji's hard to work with, or he like blades in weird spots, or he doesn't wait for you. In that case, like you just kind of forget about him, right? But generally you want to save Nano for the blade. So yeah, I think that Nano's okay. All right, well he pinned. You should be scoping for these shots. You can't afford to like miss and hit an enemy, right? You need to be healing this guy the whole time, right?
Yeah, but he was gone.
I mean, probably, right? But if you shoot an enemy, he's definitely dead, right?
Yeah.
So like this is when you need to scope, right? And make sure you hit all those shots. Because like again, you earlier you nanoed him, so he wouldn't get long spawn, right? Now he's got long spawn, right? So like you got to make an effort to like heal him, especially when you've already committed resources to him.
Yeah, but he walked through the choke. He was past it. Like
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course.
I
But
knew there was no saving him there.
you still got to try, right? Like
Yeah,
I
of
understand,
course.
right? But you still got to try. That nade is really questionable. Like this is when you need to get used to quick scoping, right? Because like yes, it's risky to like peek out and heal him, right? But committing a nade is like a lot of value, and it might bait him into a bad play. And then if you have nade, like he goes for a bad play, you don't have nade to bail him out, right? So
Yeah.
yes, he was super low, right? But you should just shoot him there, not nade. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
All right, again, positioning, right? Where are you relative to your team, right?
I'm like just in the middle there.
You're just in the middle of the blob, right? And your team has no Reinhardt, and they're walking at you, right? This is really, really scary. You at minimum should be like back here, right? And even maybe like behind the corner, so you don't get like randomly killed by a widow up there, right? But that's like not that's something you don't have to worry about for a little while. But like you shouldn't be with your team. At minimum, you should be like behind here. This is not the best though if they push. Like back here on this corner, right? Back here on this corner, right? Have cover, right? And make a decision on like and like have the like appropriate spacing, right? If you get hooked and he like misses everybody, hooks you in the back, this is not you getting unlucky. This is you just having bad positioning. Does that make sense? Or does like that is that like because I know it's very easy that he hooks you here by accident, right? You'd be like, oh, that's so stupid. How can he hook me, right? But like you didn't need to be in hook range in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like a hallmark of like good players is they just get lucky a lot, or they're very rarely unlucky, right? Because they just don't allow these situations to happen, right? So if you feel like you're
Okay.
getting unlucky a lot, in game, a lot of the times it's like things you could have solved with just by like being better positioned or like being more considered with like how you're playing. Right. So you save the Lucio, right? But like, what if you got hooked? No one like unless the Zarya's on the ball, like you're not getting saved, and then you're still way out of position, right? And like the Lucio was not the most forward on your team, right? And he would probably be like, "That's so unlucky," right? But I mean, your Lucio's kind of out of position too. Like he's not the most forward, and so like he doesn't think he deserves to be hooked, right? Right. Imagine if he wasn't here. This is you, right?
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Right. If this Lucio wasn't getting hooked, that was you right there, in the perfect line as your DPS and your Genji and Zarya split like split on this hook, right? So again, like don't take the risk, right? Don't even be here.
I should play back a bit more than I guess.
Yeah. I didn't talk too much on your cooldown usage because I've been focused so much on like your positioning so far. But your nade usage
Yeah.
in general is too early. Like you really want to wait for like a fight to be like committed. And then when you do, you're looking more for an anti than you're looking for a heal buff, right? So this nade is like really questionable because both like it's not really hitting the enemy team, and on top of that, your team doesn't really want to fight here because this guy is back here. So you really need the nade to bail
Yeah.
someone out because your team isn't backing up fast enough, and somebody's about to die soon, right? So you need the nade to like bail them out and potentially turn for another kill. I'm watching chat, Panda. This is in fact gold. Oh god. Okay. All right. There were like 6 ults used at literally the same moment, and it looks like your team won.
Yeah, we won.
Yep.
We are the best.
I will keep you here.
All right. Yeah. This nade's also really questionable. This nade should you should only throw this nade if all you're doing is trying to fish for ult and you don't expect a fight to happen the next 10 seconds. Because you need this nade for the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My nade, throw my nade is just habit now. I think.
Yeah, it's a very problematic habit for Honest. It's very easy to and us Honor to get in like kind of a rhythm where you're kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna throw a nade because I feel like I can hit it, right? But when you hit the nade, it's actually a lot more important than whether or not you can actually hit the nade.
Yeah.
Because like if your Rhines are like, say like there's a fight happening in this corner and your Rhines here and their Rhines here, right? And then like you just throw a nade like from here or something and you splash it off like I don't know, like off the cart and it hits the Rhine and then the Rhine just backs up before your Rhine's ready to push, right? That's a really problematic nade because your Rhine won't get a lot off of it, right? And it might even bait him to overextend, right? And the timing of it just kind of really poor, right? But if like you were to like have your Rhine just run in at the guy, like if your Rhine's already running in as you nade, you're more likely to hit the anti-nade instead of having it blocked because the other Rhine will be tempted to like swing back, right? And
Yeah.
on top of that, if you do hit an anti, your Rhine is like can use it, right? And if you don't hit the anti at all, right? And all you do is get a heal buff off that, right? Your Rhine can still use that by walking in more aggressively, right? Because he'll be healing while he's taking damage, right? And this is the same logic as like bubbles, right? When your Rhine pushes, he should be getting everything at the same time. Bubble, nade, amp, whatever the case may be, right? Not exactly the same time, but approximately the same time, right? And so that's what you want to look for with your nades, right? You can fish for nades for like for just like ult sometimes, but when your Rhine is trying, you generally speaking, you want to be throwing nades when your Rhine is actively trying to trade with the enemy team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because like a lot of
Wait for
like
the
I don't think any of your nade.
engagement, then
Sorry,
nade.
what'd you say?
Wait for the engagement, then nade.
Yeah, exactly.
I usually try nade so people go in when they see somebody purpled. But...
Yeah, so you'll have to confidence nano like sometimes in this rank to get your Rhine to walk forward, but in general you don't want to confidence nade. Nade is too important. It's to winning fights. Like, and also by the way, perfect example, right? You threw that nade into their spawn, right? When did the fight happen, right?
When the Genji got nano.
Yeah. What's your nade cooldown?
3.
Yeah, or I think it's 2. It's kind of hard to tell.
No.
But the point is, like, because you threw the nade into the spawn fishing for ult, you don't actually have nade when the fight started. See how that works?
Yeah.
Which is why you need to be very, very considered with nade. Nade is so important. Sleep a little bit less so. It is still really important, but it's like harder to land anyways. So, like having sleep here would also be pretty nice, right? Right, that's a good nade, but like imagine it was earlier and your team wasn't crumbling around you as you tried to catch up with the nade, right?
Yeah.
That sleep also would have been a lot nicer earlier. Alright, team looks like they won anyways. What are you looking for here? Was someone calling that they were flanking or something?
No, I was tripping balls and thought I heard Roadhog footsteps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you sort of let your team like, yeah, you sort of just like left.
Yeah, I thought I heard something, but I didn't.
Again, is this nade valuable?
No.
No,
It's not.
right? It's not. Yeah, you'd much rather have this later, right?
Yeah. It's
Ah,
nade management.
You're taking so much damage. And also, if you eat the fire strike, what's your closest available health back? Do you know?
The one behind me.
Yeah. So instead of peeking out and risking death, right? Just go back, grab the mega first, right? Then consider peeking, right? And also heal this guy. This guy's really important to heal.
You're powered up.
Yeah, yeah.
Get in there.
Or dice here.
Yeah. You're still walking forward. I guess you got the amp from the Lucio, but oh, whoops. Yeah, that nade is also pretty questionable, right? Like, can anyone like does stopping this guy from healing, like, actually make him worried?
No.
Would a nade right now be really valuable on this guy, right?
Genji probably, yeah.
Yeah, he would be terrified. Like, this would force him out, or it would kill him, right? So it's really important. Like the timing of the nade is way more important than actually whether or not you can hit it. See how that works? Like, do you see how many times like you hit a nade, it doesn't do anything?
Yeah. So I just need to get more value out of my nades.
Yeah.
Step back in.
It's just a bad habit I've got into.
Yeah, I mean it's very easy as Honor, just like throw cooldowns and like be okay with the outcome because like nade is so strong that like it's hard not to get at least some value on your nade, right? But because it's so
Yeah.
strong, That's the easiest way to climb. It's just like don't die and get crazy value in your nades, right? Because it does so much.
I think I'm just stuck in really bad habits. Like I only play this game as Ana.
I mean,
I don't
I play a
really
lot of Ana
play
too.
any other heroes.
Ana is fun. Ana's great. And you can absolutely climb just one tricking Ana.
Yeah.
But you just need to be like more disciplined with your cooldowns. Like
From
actively
the
think.
Ana, I usually just go like Moira or Mercy or something. Just
Yeah, I mean they're a lot easier, so at least at a basic level, especially Mario. But
yeah, it's so boring to play.
don't heal your Zarya. Right now you need to heal your Zarya. Let her die.
I tried to nade the Rhine.
Yeah, she blocked it. Right, and see again, like the more you line up with your team, the harder it is to actually like get your nade in the right spot, right?
Yeah. I should have naded over and let it splash.
Yeah.
It's just my nades, just ignore them. I know that they're bad now.
Yeah. Doom's go. Oh, he's not going for you. Nice. That's always nice. This is okay. Should be. Yeah. Okay. That nade should be a little bit earlier, I think, but like conceptually, it was okay. Yeah. Once you're in the middle of a fight, your positioning isn't like terrible, and your cooldown usage is like not bad either. It's just like you sort of like screw yourself all the time before the fight. You know?
Yeah, I should wait till something happens then nade.
Yeah, like you're chucking your cooldowns willy-nilly. You're positioning like you start walking forward all the time before you need to. And then the fight starts and you're in so much trouble because you don't have anything, right? But then when you're in the
Yeah.
fight and you get a chance to like reset yourself, that's when your cooldowns start landing. Your position becomes on point, right? So like just like be more disciplined with what you're doing between fights, right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Alright, I would strongly recommend either taking high ground right now or finding some place safe to go, or like depending on where the fight is, like it's kind of hard to judge with like really like this Ryan has already proven he is very irrational, right? So the most okay, the thing that will determine where the fight is, right, is where your Ryan decides to fight most of the time, right? Which is why tanks have so much influence over a game, right? Like where the fight is, wherever this Ryan decides to fight, right? So normally, if this Ryan was just sitting here and like playing back or something, I would just like, or if it was like more normal, I would like walk up here, take this high ground, and then like play here for plan to play here for the next fight, right? But with this guy, you just kind of just have to follow him and like try and set up around whatever he's doing, right? So we were talking, you were watching in like in the McCree VOD, right? Like a lot of it was just like trying to figure out where your team wants to fight and then off angling, right? Like so if your team
Yeah.
wants to fight here, then you would stand here or something, right? And so it's kind of the same thing, except instead of off angle, you just need to find a spot that makes sense, right? So if your Ryan wants to fight here, right, you should be like here, right?
Okay.
Right. Stuff like that, right? So try and figure out where your Ryan's going to fight, and just keep adjusting your position until your position makes sense for where he's actually going to fight, right? And that's the easiest way to play with players that like don't really make any sense.
I think I called Ryan, don't move up.
Yeah.
And he moved back. I mean, they were listening and they were cooperative, but no communication back.
Yeah. So the thing is now, right? The fight's about to start. Is where you're standing makes sense? Does where you're standing make sense?
I could be back a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, you could have more cover, right? Easy adjustment. Your position is now automatically 3 times better, right? And this is what you need to be thinking right about, right? Like, and what are some things that could kill you if you play behind this cover?
Nothing.
Well, nothing from here, right? Or here, right? So you're really covered from these sides. But what if like a Widow or like a Hanzo or McCree comes from over here, right? Then it's risky, right? So if you're gonna play here, right? Make sure that occasionally you check the spot and make sure that there's no one pushing this, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So know where you can die from. Make yourself safe from at least the normal stuff, right? And then watch the actual threats or watch the other threats and see if they can kill you, right? That's a little bit higher level. You don't have to worry about right now.
Cover.
Yeah, but like the most important thing is use cover, right? Don't play here. Play here, right? Small adjustment, like it matters a lot. That nade's okay, because it was when the fight was starting, right? But still, right? Is this hog really threatened, right? Versus if you naded this guy with a mercy pocket, that suddenly doesn't do anything anymore, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like again, wait for the opportunity to present itself to nade. It will come to you. Don't waste it beforehand, right? People, especially at low ranks, will make all kinds of mistakes that you can just get a free nade on. And every time you get a free nade that's value, it will just lead to a kill, right? or tons and tons and tons of pressure. It's a good sleep,
Yeah.
right? So, but notice you didn't like. Yeah, the nade wasn't the best, right? But you didn't waste it over the fight, and you didn't waste the sleep, and now you're hitting your abilities, and you have a lot of impact on the fight, right? Also, notice
Yeah.
where this doom came from. Came from here, right? This is the where you can die if you play this spot, right? So you got to keep an eye on it, right?
Yeah, I was expecting that Doom to come for me, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, you tried, but then you backed up, right? So that was a good retreat, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're in the middle of a fight, you kind of go with the push and pull of the fight like reasonably well. It's just before the fight that you have all your problems.
Right. Okay.
Like nade head was fine, a little awkward because of the shield, but so now you're playing too far back, right? The fight is like sort of like gone into chaos, right? And a lot of people are dying left and right. But when you play too far back, you see like how limited your LOS is and how hard it is to hit people.
Yeah.
So when the fight starts devolving, right, that's when you need to move forward to make sure you can land your stuff, right? Like your shots, your nades, like you can contribute meaningful damage at this point, right? But like you're so obsessed, you're so like concerned with not dying here that you're playing so far back, right? But like who's gonna kill you now, right? Like they're all gone, right? So you can play here, right, and more aggressively like heal your teammates, more aggressively get damage, and more aggressively land cooldowns because now you can play more aggressive because you know they're all dead. So,
Yeah.
but if you don't like if you struggle so much with healing here because you're so far away that like someone on your team dies, now this is a losable fight, right?
Okay. Yeah, I see. Cause
Yeah, it works out. Your Genji owns the hog. Right. So in an ideal world, we get our aim a little bit more consistent, so we don't have to nade this guy. Because again, like, don't waste nade. It's so important.
that was panic. DPS. I don't know why, but they will push with 1 HP. They don't care.
Yeah. For sure.
And if
But
I didn't nade him, he would have just died because he just standing still, basically.
uh, maybe. I think he's okay.
He's just like,
But the big thing is like,
just,
uh,
just like I don't know.
yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe he
I
dies.
always just feel like DPS just don't really care about anything else but their damage. They just want medals.
I mean, some are right, especially at your rank probably is like a lot of dumb DPS. But I mean, like everyone's dumb at your rank to be honest. Like people make all sorts of mistakes, right? The big thing is like you don't want to have to burn nade here, right? So what's an easy solution to not have to burn nade?
Just shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, like either start trying to shoot him earlier, right? Or just be more accurate. Because like this is not a particularly hard shot, right? And the biggest thing is consistency, right? So a big part of climbing is consistency, right? So instead of having this thing behind between you and him, right? Just be like when you're moving forward, move forward to an actual position right here, and now you can heal him really easily, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like walking behind here and be like, oh, this LOS sucks, right? Or like play here, right? Like try and like we were talking about like with the Rhine example on first point, right? With Rhine, when your Ryan's going to charge over here, you need to try and get LOS on him, right? And the easiest way is just like look what he's doing. As soon as you see the charge, right, start sliding this direction to see if you can get LOS in time to save him, right? This is the
Yeah.
same idea, right? Don't let him LOS you. Like try and LOS him, right?
I know my defense play sucks, but my attack I think is better.
Oh, you want to watch it? Okay,
I
we can
think.
skip to it. I'm running out of time, so
Pretty
yeah.
sure. Yeah. I believe so.
It's good sleep. You should probably nade that as well if you can try and. This is probably again the problem with stacking behind all your tanks. So in order to get this nade, you'd have to like hop to your right to get like see how like you break LOS with your tanks to get this naded. Or like, how you like unline like you basically like unline up with your tanks in order to get the nade if you want to get an aggressive nade here, right?
Yeah.
Um, but this is the problem with stacking too much. But like this is fine. But if you want to get the nade, you need to like jump to your right for the nade. Yeah, see, like immediately just gets blocked, right?
Yeah, the diva. That's
Okay.
fine.
It's
I
not
think
again.
Winston
Yeah,
dies.
yeah. It's not really the diva's fault as well, right? Like that's on you, right? You can just like jump to the side, and that's an easy problem solved, right? If someone okay, now if you jump to the side and someone jumps in front of you, that kind of sucks, and that's kind of an unlucky, right? But
Yeah.
you should still like try. Because like your monkey's dying, and this guy is like not taking any damage. He's not pressured, right? Because you didn't hit the anti. And now if someone gets hooked, and he was looking at you for a second, that could have been dicey.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. Get me.
That nade's not super value. Any guesses on why?
Because I only hit one person.
Uh, sure. I mean, hitting more people is nice, right? But the biggest thing that I want to get at is like he's not gonna die, right? And like if he dies, he's bad, right? Which is like very understandable if you think he's bad, right? But like you're healing him already. He wasn't taking that much more damage, and he's presumably gonna fly soon, right? If he just stands there and just tanks it all, right? Then you couldn't save him no matter, even if you do nade him, right? In which case that like you don't need to burn the nade. But if you just standard heal him, right? And then maybe someone overcommits on him, and then he flies out and you land a nade, right? That's a potential kill, right? But like this nade, right, is just not very necessary, right?
Okay.
Watching your back.
Alright, so that nade is okay. Why is that nade okay?
Force them back.
Yeah. That's not the most important thing though. Like it's not like a crazy value nade, right? But why was that timing on that nade okay?
Don't know. They were pushing forward.
So what is your team not going to be doing for the next 10 seconds?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, they're not going to do anything because this guy's in spawn and this guy's dead, right? This Genji, right?
Yeah.
So you can, at that point, you just use your nade whenever you want to get ult, right? It's free. So might as well, right? See, that's when's okay because you know nothing's going to happen for the next 10 seconds, right? Or nothing should happen, but you know. Now what I don't want to see is a sleep here.
Oh, you will.
I mean, okay, your monkey's jumping, so now it's okay to sleep, right? Because now the fight started. See?
Okay, the monkey's in.
You should consider nanoing your monkey soon.
I
Honestly.
was considering it, but
Yeah.
then
It ended up being a conservative jump, so that was fine. But on his next jump, you should probably nano.
I thought there's nothing up there. It would be a waste.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Not sleep.
So
Wasted.
yeah, you kind of wasted your sleep earlier, but this nano is also a little bit questionable.
I should have died here, but I didn't.
Oh, do you live? Okay. Well, anyways, the most important thing is this nano is like kind of questionable because you've already killed 2 people, right? So your team's like winning, and unless like they start turning the fight, you don't really need to nano this. Also, in general, when you're walking through the choke, try not to walk this way. This is how you get flanked from hotel. This is a super easy way to die. Like, on second, right? We talked about how like this is a very common position, right? But when you play this, you always need to be aware of this spot, right? Because this is how you die, right? So on first point, hotel is 9 times out of 10. If you die in support, this is why you die, right? So you need to know about this and either be looking at it and get ready and being ready to respond, or just like path away from it and go over here where you can't die to hotel anymore, right?
Yeah.
So be really cautious about walking in through main. Main really sucks on King's Row. Yeah. So you live. The power of Ana's hitbox. By the way, you had orb on you, so you didn't actually need to nade yourself. I don't know if you realized that, but
No, I didn't realize the orb was on me. It was just.
all right. So why did your bot teammates all die here, or why did they die? Take your best guess.
Why did who die?
Why is this Doomfist able to kill? Why is this Doomfist able to kill people when he goes in by himself?
Should have moved up a little bit.
So some of your teams can push up and mess with that, right? But your squishy teammates are not backing away, right? Like, do you see where you are? Like, like it's impossible to Doom to get to you now, right?
Yeah.
And if you backed up further, right, you'd have cover, you have a mini, right, etc., etc. You can be on point, like, but like if you're gonna be on point as a squishy, like, don't be on the front of point unless you're sure that nothing's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So this is good position on you, but not so much on your teammates.
I think we almost lost this.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like this is how you lose, right? There's like this Zen forces the trans, right? That nade's okay. I think you probably want to nade on the wait on the nade until after you get punched, right? Because you know you can heal yourself and purple him.
Yeah.
Again, like when you're walking through, right? Try and like instead of walk towards point, you want to try and get this way as fast as you can, right? Because this is the best spot. This spot and this spot are like the best honest spots, and if you have time, you can go up to clock, right? Obviously, there's not really time for that right now, so don't bother. But like you don't want to be main because this is how you died from random flankers, right?
Yeah, just random spam damage and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, to see like by standing here, you're actually peeking the arch, and someone in arch can kill you, right? Whereas like if you're playing like here, right? Yes, like you can control how much you're peeking arch while also doing your job, right? Same with here, right? You have a hard cover for the arch, you can still do your job, right? Ooh, that was close. You seem like
Nade.
Huh? No, the nade was okay. Like you're just going for damage, and plus it's the last person alive, so you know.
Yeah.
But you seem to be like really unwilling to like scope in. Is that like true?
It all depends on the game, really. If I feel just my normal clicks are not healing, I will scope more.
Okay, so it's kind of like a feeling based thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've seen you scope in like maybe like 3 or 4 times this whole game. I'm not sure if that's like normal for you.
I don't know. It's
Normally a big problem is convincing Honest to scope less, but you seem to have the opposite problem where you scope too little. All right, you should be like doing something in this time, right? Even if it's as simple as like just looking out here to make sure there's no like one setting up in front of you, right? But you can't rely on your teammates to pass you information, especially when they're not calming. So you need to collect that information yourself, right? You need to know what's going on here. And like honestly, if I were you, I'd be like walking up right now, trying to like again find where the enemy team is, and also like potentially get some extra poke for my ult.
sure I was taking a drink right here.
Ah, I see. Understandable. Again, positioning wise, you don't want to be on cart when this happens, right? Like you didn't actually know where the enemy team is until you got to the corner and realized that they weren't at the corner. But imagine if the Rhine was here as you got to the corner, like, oh crap, the Rhine's here, right? So that was probably a lot of words. But but like in general, like play the backside, right? Where you have distance and you have cover, right? And then if you need to, then you can walk forward, right? But initially you want to play further back and and like safe, right? Also, why is this nade timing good? Even if he doesn't hit anything?
As the fight started.
Because the fight started. Your monkey jumped in, right? It's automatically a decent nade now. That Ryan almost dies for, right? And on top, he doesn't actually die for it, but it forces all of his shield. He's still low HP, and he backs all the way up to here, right? This nade single-handedly forced all this, right? That's the power
really
of nade.
bad habit of trying to pre-sleep rounds and probably get no value from doing it. It's just a really bad habit.
Yeah, like for example, if Orion's here, like what are the odds he drops his shield? They're very, very low, right? But when your monkey jumps on him, most Ryans are going to swing at the monkey, right?
Yeah.
Which means that's an hour free sleep, right? So like again, wait for your teammates to do things, wait for stuff to happen, right? And your cooldown suddenly become just so much free value.
Yeah. Okay. That actually makes more sense. I'm just stuck in bad habits, I guess. That's my...
I mean, bad habits are like extremely common. Just like the most important thing, like, is that it's never too late to break them, right? It takes effort, right? But it's never too late to break them.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if these guys are missing health unless they're critical. Like, focus on your diva. See, the problem here is you're using nade to make up for the fact that you weren't healing the diva earlier, right?
Yeah.
And now, like, now there's a nade down, right? And when this Genji goes up with Nano Blade, you would really like to have a nade for this Nano Blade.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Your LOS is so awkward. You're just like fishing for random stuff. There's some more behind you, by the way. Yeah. I know you can't hear it, but you know.
Yeah, I called the Moira behind and they all turned.
Yep.
And then the Moira went to the...
Alright, again, don't be here when the Rhine's dropping, right? Be here. Be here. Be here, right? Be somewhere safe, right? I know you want to move forward with the play, right? But until the cart's capped, right? The cart is actually extremely dangerous, right?
I knew the Rhine was up there.
Yeah.
I called him. Rhine above.
That's even worse. Don't be here. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you know the Rhine's here, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the biggest thing, right, is like, it's very easy to be like, oh, we're about to cap, it's fine, right? With support positioning. But the most important thing, thing to realize is that when you're about to cap, right, where does the enemy team have to go if they're going to take a fight?
On the point.
They have to go on the point, which means that anywhere except the point is so much safer, right? Because they're going to be on point if they're going to contest, right?
Yeah.
So don't be a cart when that happens.
That's Rhine was looking for a cheeky kill.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good sleep, right? But it would be a lot easier to hit the sleep actually from here, where you see that guy coming earlier, right?
Yeah.
You just see him walking out the door, and you just chuck a sleep at him. What's he going to do? Shield it and not do anything? Alright, so if you want to get aggressive, which you totally can, right? To walk in, right, you want to take a long, safe angle, right? That can see both your team and the enemy team. So a really obvious spot is like right here, right? You can see your team. You can see the enemy team. You have a Mega behind you. You're super unpushable, right? This is the flank. It's so long. You can see it coming a mile away, right? This is a really strong position for Ana on this map. So what I don't want to see is you standing right here, which is probably going to happen, right?
It is.
This has none of the advantages. Can get you flanked from this side. Like a Reaper teleports here, and you can't even see it happen, right? And then meanwhile, like someone can come this way and flank you really easily. Like say like a Widow hops out around the corner and just one shots you, right? You can't do anything about it from here. If there's a shatter, right, you're squarely in line of it, right? So again, don't play here. Don't play main. Main sucks. Play the angle, right? Oh god, my camera control. Oh nice, you're doing it. All right, now you gave up. I understand that you feel like you need to push cart, but you really don't, right? Unless no one else is going to push it, like walk this way. Zen is usually more than happy to push the cart because they don't think for themselves. So, you know.
Yeah, it's always usually me. It's always Ana push car. So
Yeah, I mean, if your Zen's going to push up, obviously, push cart, right? But as soon as you can, you want to transition to into this spot, right? Unless your team's getting really aggressive and pushes them all the way back so you don't have to be worried about getting flanked, right? But for the most part, you don't really want to be on cart unless no one else is going to, right? But in this case, that's not an excuse because you have 2 other people on cart, right?
yeah,
So you can just see this and be like, I don't want to be with you guys. I'm gonna go on my own route way, you know, and just hop up here, right? And now you have a good angle, right?
right.
And you're very safe.
I'm safe.
Just a scratch, you'll be fine.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that one. I'm sure you know why.
Yeah, I know. My nades are. I get it. She wasn't critical. She wasn't in any danger. I can't hit my shots there. Way too early with that.
Yeah. I appreciate the effort though. You were aware about him, right? That was good. The big thing here is I guess it's not even that big. This is kind of micro, so I don't even know if I should be talking about this right now. But when you take the shot, you quick scope this, right? So first you miss, right, which is understandable, and then you quick scope, right? So the problem is you actually know how much HP he has from the nade, right? So you know that the quick scope won't kill him, right? So the thing is, in this
Yeah.
case, you just need to hard scope and just shoot him, because like if you quick scope, your overall DPS is a lot lower, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, just like commit to the kill, right? Oh wait, do you have no ammo? Am I dumb? I might be dumb.
Yeah, I had to reload there. I
I
thought to myself I could have killed him, but I had to fucking reload.
all right. Take everything I just said the last 20 seconds and just ignore.
Like,
My
I
bad.
know I could have killed him.
My bad. My bad.
Adaptive circuits en-
All right. So we just talked about why this position is really strong, right? But it's only strong until the cart gets to around here, right? So when the cart starts pushing around this corner, where's your next really strong position?
On the left high ground?
Yep. This is your spot. You play here and you're invincible, right? You can. And there's a lot of like rough approximate like a lot of nearby areas that also work. You can play here, here, here. You can also play under here if the cart's about to cap, right? This is obviously not the case though, so you don't want to be there. But you want to play this general area unless you think that you're losing, which you are. If you're losing, you want to be backing up already, right? Like you want to maintain Ellis with your team, right? So this is about as far back as you can go right now. But as your team like starts to back up, you want to keep backing up. You want to be as far back as you can while still being able to help them, right? Because you don't want to die.
Okay.
Dying is bad. As this is good. You're backing up, right? This is really good, right? When you're in the middle of a fight, you don't really make very many positioning mistakes. It feels like that NATO though is not the best.
I was trying to get the echo.
Yeah.
You're going for it.
That was good. You didn't die. Sleep was a bit questionable, and then ended up getting blocked as well. But alright, when your monkey jump, Just wait until your monkey jumps.
Nano boost almost ready.
Yeah, I should really wait.
Yeah. So
It's
if you,
just little things. It's just little things like that that just I don't notice I'm doing wrong.
well now you know,
And I would
right?
never have noticed. Yeah, I would never have noticed. I would have just kept doing that forever.
Now you can get better, right? But like also in this case, right? You know the fight's gonna happen soon. You're even calling your Genji's even calling for Nanoblade, I assume, right? Because you just said my Nano Boost is ready. So see where the fight's happening, where your LOS of it, right? You don't see it, right?
Yeah.
So what did you need to do like 5 seconds ago?
Go to the right.
Go to the right, right? At least here, preferably up here, right? And this gives you so much better vision of the fight. Your nade is way easier, right? Your nano is like impossible to miss at this point. Whereas if you're here, right, you can accidentally nano someone else by accident. You can go around the corner. It can be very difficult, right? It's very common for like this to happen, where you're like sitting here, right, and they get you like nano me, and then he dashes over here, and you're like, I can't see you, right? I'm sure you've had this happen, right? It's the exact
Oh,
situation.
every game.
Yeah, exactly.
Every game.
And the thing is, yes, that's kind of on your Genji, but it's also on you, right? Because imagine if your Genji wants to nano, right? He dashes like where can he dash that you can see from here, right? He can only dash straight up, right? And then he's too far away to use the nano, right?
Yeah.
To use this blade effectively, right? So this can be on the Genji, but it's also on you because you need to be over here, at least over here, right? And this way, if he dashes up, no problem, right? You see him just fine, right?
Yeah.
That's a good sleep attempt. That's a very questionable trance. Right, so you know this guy in there. I really like the awareness.
I told the McCree and he still fucked that up.
Yeah, I mean it happens. Oh, okay. That nade is you're really fishing at this point. Unlucky.
Get back.
My health back.
I mean, if you just naded yourself, you know, you would live. Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, on one hand, he took your health back. On the other hand, if you just healed yourself, you would live, right? So, again, a lot of problems. Like, yeah, it's unlucky that you took your health back, but if you were better with your nade, right, you just wouldn't have been unlucky, right? It wouldn't matter that you were unlucky, right? Ah!
Still a little bit too off. We do win this fight, I think.
Oh, he got obliterated. Nice sleep. That nade is okay. Now just make sure your monkey lives. Oh, nice try.
Get back in the fight.
You shouldn't reload there. You know your Mercury took a lot of damage. All right. Anyways, I think that's like I've given you like enough things to look at this point to work on.
Yeah.
The number one thing for you
Appreciate it.
is definitely positioning before fights, right? Because like it makes everything easier, right? Like it's just so much easier if you're just here as opposed to like here when that fight starts. And then like your positioning, your cooldowns will just automatically get more value when you're in a better position. But that said,
Yeah.
stop throwing away your cooldowns before fights. It's so important. Those are your two number one things to work on, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let me know how that goes. And then like if like you feel like you've made improvements, but like you're still struggling, like another week or so, just like feel free to send another VOD.
Yeah, it just helps from somebody else's perspective to see what's really going on, because when you get stuck in bad habits, you just don't really know.
Yeah, it's so easy to just like not just run through the same motions over and over again and not know why it's like not working, or why it works sometimes it
Yeah.
doesn't work other times. Right. That's another big
Yeah,
problem.
that's the issue I find.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Anyways, hope that was helpful. I gotta go now.
Yeah, that was very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I will see you later.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Again.
Bye.
Catch you.
All right. I gotta go. I'll probably stream again tomorrow, but